14 years ago Barcelona won its name in history when becoming the first Spanish team to win the Great Three under the leadership of Pep. Is even that it was only the first tournament that contributed capital, sad in the captain's chair at Camp Nou, and Barca also said goodbye to famous players such as Reup and Nico Lilia and especially Ronaldinho. But despite the fluctuations in the Barcelona squad of the season, 2008-2009 still ended with a brilliant achievement through which it was considered as one of the best Wardo teams of all time, but also initially positioned their name and position on the world stage. However, not everyone recognizes the tactician hand of the leader from Catalonia. Many people think that he is bringing a philosophy that makes football boring with alternating passes in the middle of the field. And there are also suggestions that all the glory that Barcelona achieved in that season largely came from a pre-built high-quality framework in his hands that had a pair of outstanding midfield players, the best of the 21st century. Andres Iniesta and Xavi had a solid and reliable fire Khaled in defense and a fearsome trident with a combined 100 goals in all competitions that season. Different from Pepler is that he has suffered a lot of derision that he is lucky to lead a bag of Sona that is too powerful, not overrated with his talent for more than a decade. Wacola continues to win a championship, another Champions League with Barca before the towel began an adventurous journey to seek recognition even for the most demanding spectators. But the 3 seasons of coaching at Bayern Munich are also 3 times that Pep Guardiola is to receive a bitter defeat in the semi-finals of the Champions League. In general, except for a series of domestic titles that are always within reach of the Grey Lobster, the trip to Germany of the former Barcelona coach is considered to be fail. I can't compare de Mourinho to someone who couldn't get a slick with Bayern Munich while the other did it with Porto. The somewhat harsh words that former Simulado player Simulado had for him were enough to see that the time BN was a low note in Pepler's career. Is that more than this great leader is looking forward to one more step to the top of Europe with the team he built himself, thereby in exchange for the most fair recognition for himself. In the summer of 2016, Guardiola moved to ETH where there was enough potential for him to fulfill his dream. 6 years leading the Citizen newspaper, the Spanish captain has achieved all possible titles in the foggy country. But the Champions League is still something that has always eluded him. There were times when people thought that the historic championship was right in front of Man City's eyes. In the end, they still can't reach this year's season. Guardiola is still dedicated to pursuing and constantly upgrading the battleship he has worked so hard to build, and this is the time when he can reap the results he deserves. Man City season 22-2003 is exactly the most complete framework formed under Pep Guardiola's reign. Is an elite army ready to tear down every tournament they attend in the Premier League, despite dropping a few points in the early and mid-season. But also thanks to that, the championship of Caputo rushing to the students became much more meaningful from being 8 points behind in the rankings. Man City made a shot, speeding up the subject with a series of 16 consecutive unbeaten matches. It is more true that Man City at that time was such a scary team that no team wanted to confront during the whole season. The Citylands fans were many times have the opportunity to celebrate in the home team's goal parties against the formidable opponents Murma, which is the destruction victory over the same City opponent with a score of 63. Then in turn Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal simultaneously became the tragic defeat at the hands of Pepper. Is a similar performance in the Champions League arena, where they are still extending their unbeaten streak during the journey to Istanbul by winning 5 matches, draw 31 goals and 5 goals conceded. Are talking numbers about the overwhelming power created by Pepler's army that even the mighty Bayern or Real Madrid could not escape. Can empty-handed when marching to IKH. In the arena of the Congressional Cup, Man City also brought a complete dominance when stepping to the throne with only 1 goal conceded in the actual final. During the years of working with the home team must change a lot, both in terms of people, forces and tactical operations, and fight France in matches so that new innovations that contribute to the football world are also produced as much as possible. When it came to elevating the trailer to the top defender in the world, the moment when Channel was given the responsibility to become the position that brought the most mutations in the computer's system, many people thought that even if it was starting on the left and right, this will be an impregnable name for 3 Dong. but contrary to those judgments when it is the position of KN channel and the problem both on and off the pitch this season, Guardiola is straight, eliminating the Portuguese defender to remove all barriers preventing the team from moving forward. Indeed, for him there is not a particularly important regime name that cannot replace the 52-year-old captain, ready to face with any change as long as all the players are still united towards the common goal, and the reality has proven no hindrance, and in particular and Man City in general is still fine or not to be said to be perfect. Better still, Wardo is and still is. His new invention, the way he gave the key from the Calculo's hand to Justin, was really amazing. It felt like every Guardiola player led to be able to reach their full potential, his maximum potential, thereby becoming the most perfect version of himself that he can achieve, all of which has made Guardiola's talent more equitably accepted that lies in so many people from did not care or even did not like to draw gradually changed his attitude to support him before the Champions League semi-final between Man City and Real Madrid took place. Wonder Rooney, former Red Devil striker, publicly supported the opponent, speaking with the City in the Times. He shared that Man City not only won but also won destructively against Real Madrid at the beginning of the season. I have a feeling that Wardo is finally conquering the European title, Man City's record, and after seeing what they've done over the past few months, I think I'm right. Wonder Rooney is just one of those who have come out to support Guardiola and his quest for glory this season. Besides, fans from English football teams also unanimously affirmed that the title for a slighter, rather, the grand prize, will be a worthy reward for what the Vision petition has brought with what Pep Guardiola has never worked so hard to see such a distance as the desire to win in the match against Real, even while in the lead, with the image of a devoted captain always standing close to the road. The director urging the students to obey Dufap still appeared regularly. Even his emotions were so high that he did not hesitate to yell when he was yelled at by the brother, in the situation of the Belgian midfielder's efforts kicking the ball early in the second half shared the aforementioned situation and an uncontrollable moment from the student. What do is admitting, I think it's normal in games like this to be so close to victory. Your emotions are often hard to control. We've paid the price for this. Overall, the players had a phenomenal game against Kevin Brouwer. He also didn't seem too bothered by the situation mentioned above. Just it's a small thing because we understand that we all want the best for the team, so that's not a problem. If it was, I would have been called into a private room and received a rage from him. Not only the attitude of determination and enthusiasm around the training cabin area, the emotions of victory and the love for the right blue half of Manchester, and expressed through the tears on the day Man City won the match. F7 Cup final. What can I say other than that I will love this team forever? I have been a Barca fan since I was a child and feel that this match is as meaningful as Barca versus Real Madrid. So now I realized I understood the feeling of a former Man City player. Now Peruta has only one match left to close a Man City magical award. It's not a fairy tale from zero to hero, nor is it. It must be a journey that is stretched by chasing the score with Man City. This is the season where they have created the feeling that with the superior power brought in each match, the title, the enemy is the most worthy crystallization for each individual. With Perfuddle alone, he is standing on the threshold of becoming the first and only coach to have achieved a historic treble during his coaching career, despite knowing that there will still be people who don't like him and there will be people who rely on some reason to attack him. It will certainly be an absolute recognition from the certificate bearing the historical name